I haven't drank alcohol for nearly 10 years. Actually, my last drink was at the Dubai World Cup. It was a great night out, but I remember waking up at 4 a.m. after stumbling in through the door and having to get ready to see my 6 a.m. personal training clients, thinking, I don't want to feel like this again, and I didn't really need to have the drink to have the joy that I was looking for at the end of the day. Now, being Australian and being able to live around the world for so many years, I see the strong drinking culture that Australia has. Any gathering of people is a necessity, an absolute for someone to bring beer or wine with. Every celebration is a complete norm that alcohol is involved. Even I hear far too often, I think of people saying, well, I just need to have a glass of wine at night to unwind. I am really sharing this episode with you because I've had so many people ask me to talk about this publicly, and so many people have come to me in private, in personal conversations, finding out that I haven't drank alcohol for so long, and they ask why, they delve deep and they open themselves up, and eventually they say, you need to talk about this more publicly. So here is, let's do this together right now. And see, for me, what's more interesting is the two problems I commonly hear when I have these private conversations, and really the two maxims or the two principles that I use to be able to guide myself through life that I honestly believe that has really helped me and that I want to share with you, but using them as like a compass points to have a alignment, a realignment, and making decision making far easier, far less tolling for when you're having to make decisions, and also much faster because you're just showing up as the person that you want to be. Now, let's talk about the two problems I commonly hear so often. You could be saying this as well. As the first one really comes out of someone's mouth saying, well, yeah, Chris, but I just can't stop drinking because of, and there's a bunch of different reasons. Commonly, it comes out of something like cultural conditioning that normalizes drinking, or social pressure, or fear of others that will think that they're an alcoholic or that they have a problem, or fear that they're going to be boring, or they're going to be dull or withdrawn from social situations, or they don't have an alternative or other ways to relieve stress or even to be able to celebrate. And I totally get it. I had all of those things come into my head when I first told myself, no, I just don't drink anymore. But if you were to walk up to me today, if we're at a social situation and you go, hey, Chris, you're not drinking. Why are you not drinking? My answer is, I'm not interested in it. It doesn't serve me, so therefore my interest in it just doesn't go there. I don't feel like I have to have this world-changing answer to this is why I'm not drinking anymore, or I was an alcoholic, which I wasn't, and that is something that's just, there was such pain that drew me to having to make this decision right now. I'm just simply not interested in it anymore. But I do think the compass points, the maxims, the principles I'm going to share with you actually have helped realign why I'm not interested in it. But to get to the point directly, and when it comes to, yeah, but I can't stop drinking because of, and for whatever reason you might be telling yourself and telling others right now, the first principle I want to share with you really gets directly to the heart of this. This is for me the thing that makes sure that I'm making the decisions. I'm showing up as the person that I want to day in, day out, to be able to effectively put my head on the pillow at the end of each night, having admiration for who I was. Now, the second problem I commonly hear in these private conversations when someone says that they want to either stop or cut down their drinking, and it sounds something like, yeah, Chris, but will it really help me? Will it really be worthwhile cutting out the drinking? Now, when it comes to this is something I really highly recommend. A great friend of mine, James Swanwick, incredible human being, but also does amazing work with helping people stop or cut down their drinking as well. And that's why I recommend you go over and you be able to see what he's doing and join what he's actually bringing to the world, because I've seen behind the scenes of how it works and how impactful it's been for so many people as well. So I'll pop a link below for you to be able to check out that. But for when it comes to what has it done for me as well, I think it sounds like a bit of a prickish thing for me to be able to kind of like toot my own horn. So I'll let James be able to say whatever he feels like he's seen in me with the impacts over the years that he's known me not drinking.
Clarity, focus, energy, more money, more presence, more joy is what you get when you are consistently alcohol free. My name is James Swanwick. Chris has asked me to record this little video for you. If you've been thinking about stopping drinking, if you are tired of the stop, start with your drinking, and you want to really rewire your mindset around alcohol and live a mostly, if not entirely, alcohol-free lifestyle, then there is a limited time opportunity for you to take part in groundbreaking research with the University of Washington and the University of Florida, who are studying the effects of people being 90 days alcohol free. There are more details above or below me here for you to participate. I can tell you this, I've known Chris now for many years, probably 6 or 7 years, and he hasn't drunk alcohol in 10 years. And I can say unequivocally that he's generated an amazing wife, 4 beautiful daughters. He's got a multi-million-dollar business. He's made millions of dollars in sales. He has a Greek god physique, and he's a great friend and a really wonderful soul. And would all of that have been possible if he was drinking in his life? Possibly. But because he's been alcohol-free for 10 years, he has been the best version of himself. Drinking down here, not drinking up here. I have seen amazing, amazing results from Chris in all areas of his life, and that is the result of living an alcohol-free lifestyle, amongst other things. So if you are ready to stop drinking and to level up, to go from feeling blah, like a 6 out of 10, tired, foggy, irritable, not present, not sleeping well, and you want to go to a 9 out of 10 with energy and clarity and focus and presence and energy and money and all the amazing things that come from an alcohol-free lifestyle, get the details here, participate in the study. There's only 140 spots. Don't miss this train. Get on it. Get on the alcohol-free lifestyle train. We'll see you there.
Now, let's talk about the things I'm really interested in, and that is actually how you're going to be able to do this. The actual practical, very easy to use pieces to this puzzle so you can be able to show up better and to be able to not drink if you don't want to drink, or at least cut down at the end of the day as well. We know the problems that you might be hearing, as I've said them myself, and I hear plenty of others say them. We know the benefits that can come about from this as well, as James has shared from us. But what do we actually do from here? Let's get into this. And there's the 2 principles I want to share with you. The first one being a question that I ask myself many times throughout the day and have done for a very long time now. And the question is, if I'd loved myself, would I ... So you can ask yourself, and I invite you to ask yourself, if I'd loved myself, would I eat this meal? If I'd loved myself, would I go to the gym? If I'd loved myself, would I be in this relationship? If I'd loved myself, would I have this drink? The if I'd love myself is really important. Well, it was for me, because I have struggled with, and I want to make sure I talk in past tense right now, I have struggled with self-worth and self-love before. So the if I'd love myself is an important framing, because it's just like, this is just an experiment. It's an if. It's kind of like fleeting. It doesn't have to be this fact that I love myself, so therefore I'm going to do this. It's, if I'd love myself, would I do this? So it helps me bring back realignment as to what is going to be truth and what is going to be best serving me at the end of the day as well. So you can ask yourself next time you're in any sort of situation, if I'd love myself, well then what are you going to do? What's the right thing? And there's kind of a little compass for you to have a decision making, because for me, this little question has profound impacts throughout the day, because it gets me to show up as who I want to show up as, to do the things I want to be able to do far easier, far more efficient, and far faster as well. Now, the second principle I want to share with you is people and places. So for me, this is kind of like a framework that I can put things into, because for me, I want to look at, well, there is certain people and places that I'm going to be in, and therefore I want to consciously be able to show up as the right person. I want to be able to have the identity that I want to be able to have to show up as the person that I want to in that situation. So what's the people and place? So let's use a couple of examples right now. Let's say, for example, it's in the morning and it's breakfast time with my 4 daughters and I'm getting them ready for the day. That means for me, the identity I want to show up as, it's a softer, more playful, more joyful Chris. Or let's say it's weight training time, I'm in the gym, or it's kickboxing. That means there's going to be a harder, grittier, more violent Chris going to be showing up. Or even let's say it's the evening and I'm in bed with my wife. There's going to be a more sexual, sensual, compassionate Chris showing up in that point. So if you use the context of people and place, you can ask yourself, well, in this people and place situation, Do I want to drink? How much do I want to drink? What do I want to drink? You can start having some really easy questions for you to just to decide who do you want to show up as. You might set yourself the boundary of, okay, I'm only going to drink in this certain people and place situation. That's fantastic, because if you set that, then you're able to make decisions much easier, because if you're not in that people and place, well, you simply don't drink. And for me, it wasn't that case at all, but I used that at the start because I found myself having the people and places not show up where I wanted to drink. And then when I was actually using that, if I'd love myself, it would be a clear no. So therefore, I didn't feel like there was this friction of me trying to figure out, oh, should I drink? Maybe I should just have one. Let's just cut that all out. That was just childish behavior within myself. It was playing the victim that I didn't want to show up as anyway. And I wanted to be more disciplined, and especially I wanted to be more direct with myself. Now, there's actually a third principle that I want to share with you right now, which is much more salient to myself. And this goes through all of life, but let's just say, let's put this into the context of drinking alcohol. And this is another question, which is really the case of, am I being foolish or a victim? Now, let's just focus on the foolish side of things. And I think I can definitely talk directly more to the men, because that's who I am. So I'm going to talk to as me, as a man, as a husband, as a provider, as a father. Do I want to be foolish? Now, for me, the definition of foolish is knowing the right thing that you should do, yet lacking the strength of character to follow through with it. Let me say that again. Foolishness to me is knowing the right thing to do, but lacking the strength of character to follow through with what it is that you know you should. This is profound, because for me, I think that building, strengthening, cultivating our character through conscious and effective means is one of the most important things that we should be doing. And so I just simply don't want to put my head on the pillow at the end of the day, knowing that I had been foolish throughout the day, because I feel like that is a very slippery slope to go down that does not end up where you want to be able to as well. Now, again, we're going to make mistakes. We're going to fumble along the way. I have made plenty of mistakes and I fumble all the time. So don't think that perfection is the thing that we're going after. And if you have one drink, okay, whoa, this is a good one. I didn't think I was going to share with you. This is a good one. So you might find yourself in a people and place, in a situation, and you've had a drink. And then you suddenly realize, oh, I don't really want to be drinking. This isn't the situation I want to be in. And you then kind of go into the whole, and I know I've done this, not with drinking, but let's say another situation is I find myself eating some ice cream. I'm digging my cookies into some ice cream. You're eating something you know you probably shouldn't have. And then you go, oh, you know what? Screw it. Everything goes out the window. And then you just keep going and just gorge on the food. And before you know it, I'm the cookie monster, absolutely drenched with ice cream everywhere on the couch, looking like an absolute pig and a piece of a mess, right? It's happened plenty of times before. It's okay. In a drinking situation, you might find yourself having a drink in and out and going, don't really want to be here, don't really want to be drinking, oh, I'm already here, I might as well keep going. And then you keep going. One drink turns to 3, turns to 5, turns to you can't count them anymore. Don't do that. Don't do that. That is ineffective, incorrect foolishness at the end of the day. And so if you do find yourself having a hiccup or a stumble or a mistake, know that that's okay. And know that it's not about perfection, it's about progress. And you just get back onto the wagon and you keep moving forward from there. And so I wanted to share that last bit with you, because what comes up for me is we can be far too hard upon ourselves. And I don't want you to be harsh upon yourself. I want us, because I want myself to be perfectly honest, I want to be much more loving towards myself as well. So when we find ourselves in those situations where we might have, do you know what I mean, hiccuped a little bit, made a bit of a stumble, we can get back to our feet and we can keep moving forward in the right direction as well. So when it's come about to me being able to be in the situation of not drinking for 10 years now, and I have no idea, I might be in a people and place tomorrow where I have a drink and I ask myself if I'd love myself, would I? And it says yes. That might happen as well. But for me, it's a case of I invite you to use the question, if I'd love myself, would I? And now, if the question feels a little bit icky, you can't use the word love for whatever reason, maybe you might reframe the question to what is most truthful? What is most useful to me? and then be able to answer that question yourself. The people and places has been a great framework of simply being able to be, what's the identity, who's the person that I'm showing up as in this people and place, and then also ask yourself, are you being foolish? Our ability to self-deceive ourselves is consistently alarming to me with how good we are at it. So for me, it's very much a case in point of being able to lower our self-deception and to be able to have greater contact with the reality to know really what is going on and how we're showing up as well. So I really hope this has been useful for you. You've been able to take something away. If you feel like there's someone in your life that could really benefit from this, please share this onto them. That would just be an absolute dream, because I want to make sure that this and my stumbles and my mistakes can at least help others forward as well. And if you use any of this, which hopefully I really want you to, please get in contact with me, drop a comment below, send me a DM, something rather, shout from the mountaintop. Hopefully I'll hear you, but let me know what has been useful as well, because all of the questions that I'm getting, I'm here and I want to be able to best serve. I want to be able to best share what it is that I have and what I'm going through along my journey to best help you live the life that you most want to live.